So FHA loans are awesome, and there are a lot of reasons you should use them and also a lot of reasons that you shouldn't use them. So today we're going to kind of talk through a little bit of both. Now I'm going to show you why FHA is the best loan to buy your first home if you fit into these specific categories. Now, first of all, to start off, FHA loans do have a ton of benefits. So I'm going to walk through most of the big ones that I see right now. Now, first, usually with FHA loans, you'll see a lower interest rate than you'll see with a conventional loan. Now, with that being said, because of the lower interest rate, they do have lower requirements on things like credit that allow for a higher debt to income ratio. The debt to income ratio is a massive piece of the puzzle when you're looking at any loan and in order to qualify for the house you actually want. So with this being said, go check that out. If you haven't seen my debt to income ratio video or the USDA video, that'll help you understand why the debt to income ratio on these FHA loans are so great. So as I mentioned, FHA loans allow for a lower credit score. Now, every lender has different overlays on what they allow. Some lenders go down to a 620. We personally will go down to around a 580. And I even know of some lenders that'll go down below 580. I know someone that just got approved with a 544 credit score on an FHA loan. Now, for anyone with low credit, being able to qualify for this loan is a huge advantage of FHA. Whereas conventional, you're not usually able to qualify anything under 620. And then as I mentioned, those debt to income ratios do massively come back for you. On a normal conventional loan, 50% is going to be your absolute max debt to income ratio. You'll usually want to stick around 45 to 50% depending on how strict the underwriting is. With FHA, you are allowed to go up to around 55% under certain circumstances. So depending on your credit and your qualifications, you can get those manually underwritten to actually go up to 55% of a debt to income ratio. So a lot of times with FHA, you can qualify for more of a house. Now, what everybody hears about and talks about is mortgage insurance whenever you're a first-time buyer. And the benefit of FHA mortgage insurance is that it is guaranteed no matter your credit and your down payment. So basically, mortgage insurance in general with a conventional loan, if you have bad credit, is going to be really, really high. But with an FHA loan, if you have bad credit, you're the same rate as if you have great credit, which is a huge benefit of FHA with this mortgage insurance. So again, big benefit of FHA buyers. If you have low credit, your mortgage insurance isn't going to skyrocket. It's still going to be it's going to be the same percentage amount as what it would be if you had great credit. Now, another benefit, especially with first-time home buyers using down payment assistance and specifically down payment assistance, FHA allows up to a 6% seller's credit with minimum down payment. If you look at conventional loans, the max credit, if you have the minimum down payment, is going to be only 3%. So especially, and I specifically talk about down payment assistance buyers, is because I work with a lot of them and I've had multiple close for nothing out of pocket this year where they were able to get that full 6% seller's credit from the sellers and use down payment assistance. So the down payment assistance covered their down payment. The seller's credit covered all the fees and costs included with the down payment assistance as well as closing costs. So huge benefit to FHA right there. If you're looking for little to no money down on your first home, that is a massive benefit, is you can get pretty much the entirety of it covered by the sellers, all those closing costs and fees. Now, with all that being said, those are all the benefits and there's a lot of them. There's also plenty of drawbacks. And the first one actually jumps back to mortgage insurance. Now, if you listen to Dave Ramsey, you know that he says you need to put 20% down on a house in order to avoid mortgage insurance. The reality is that's only true if you're using a conventional loan. FHA, that mortgage insurance, while it is a guaranteed amount, is going to be required the entire length of the loan. So if you're in the home for 15 years with this FHA loan and you don't refinance, you have to pay that mortgage insurance the entire time. It never falls off on these loans. So if you're avoiding mortgage insurance, you need 20% down and you have to go conventional, which doesn't always work if you don't have the best of credit, but you're still putting 20% down. Now, with a conventional loan, another downside of FHA is even while they allow for such low credit, they usually have much stricter underwriting guidelines. So there are certain guidelines that they have. They're more conservative. They're going to require you be at a job longer, have more pay stubs. The overtime has to be used over a longer period. It's not a short, you have to average it over a longer amount of time as opposed to shorter. So if you don't have overtime or commission for a long enough time, you won't be able to use FHA. So that's a downside. Depending on how long you've been at your job and how stable it is, you may not be able to use FHA, or at least not the fullness of the capabilities of it. Now, with those drawbacks, keep in mind that FHA loans are really not meant to be used for the entire life of the loan because of the mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance These loans are really made to be refinanced out of once you have enough equity in the home. Also, usually if you have a good credit and a good down payment, conventional loan will actually make more sense for you. Conventional loans base their mortgage insurance off of credit and down payment. So if you have a 5% down payment and an 800 credit score, you're going to be paying most likely less in mortgage insurance than you would with a conventional loan. And even at a conventional loan, you're probably going to have a slightly higher rate. It may come out to less monthly because of that mortgage insurance being so much lower than it would to go FHA. Also, once you're in the home long enough, that mortgage insurance automatically drops off on conventional, which is going to be lowering your payment when that happens. So why are these FHA loans available and who are they the best for? Honestly, these loans are awesome, specifically for first-time buyers and those who don't have the best credit, or those buyers looking to use the down payment assistance that can get their closing costs covered by the sellers. These are the best loans for first-time buyers within these two categories. So low credit score or looking for the big credits. But as always, just so you know, all the clickbait titles out there that talk about why FHA loans are the best for first-time buyers, it's not true. There's about 1,000 different ways to structure a mortgage depending on your specific situation and what you're going through. Conventional loans are going to be way better for some first-time buyers if you have higher credit scores and a down payment. FHA is going to be way better for some first-time buyers if you have a lower credit score or don't have the down payment available. There are different categories each one sits into that you need to understand before you buy the house and go listen to whoever said you're going to qualify for FHA. Everybody's personal situation is different and you need to understand that when buying a home. This is not a one-size-fits-all thing. Now, if you want to find out which option is best for you as we kind of go through these videos, go check out some of my other videos. I do my best to outline everything you need to know, specifically as a first-time buyer, because that's so much of what I work with, and specifically in California. So if you feel like this was helpful and you learned something, I'm going to ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment if you have a question, and please go subscribe to the channel. I'd love to be able to walk you through and teach you everything I know to help you get on the right path as you buy your first home. Now, thanks again for watching. Stick around. Next video, we're going to talk about the same benefits and drawbacks of conventional loans.